So what is art, really? Why do we even make it? And what on earth does it have to do with the very first humans? Well, today, we're going to dig into one of the most fundamental parts of our existence, that drive to create meaning. Let's explore how it all began.
And just so you know, this explainer is drawn from module materials on the human experience from Nexford University, which looks at exactly this, how we use symbols, traditions, and art to make sense of our world.
I want you to just imagine the world for a second, long before any of the systems we know today. A world with no alphabet, no books, no written laws.
Can you imagine trying to organize a group, or warn people about danger, or even just remember which plants are safe to eat without any kind of shared written record? How would you do it?
And yet they did. They absolutely did, because that need to connect, to create a shared understanding, well, it's basically woven into our DNA. It's the foundation of the entire human experience. So how did they pull it off? They used a language that came long before words. Let's take a look at the real origins of human expression. You know, a handprint on a cave wall wasn't just art. It was a signature, a signpost, maybe even a story. A ritual around a fire wasn't just a fun get-together. It was a way to build trust and forge a shared identity. These early expressions were tools, every bit as crucial for survival as a sharp rock, and their meaning came from agreement and repetition. And this right here, this just brilliantly shows how long that journey was. I mean, look at the enormous gaps in time here. We were walking around on two legs for millions of years before we started making complex tools. Our brains went through this massive growth spurt for hundreds of thousands of years before we finally made that leap to symbolic thought. That ability to make one thing stand for another, it's actually a pretty recent and totally revolutionary step for us. So the crucial point is figuring out how those first vital symbols, those marks on a wall, slowly evolved into what we now call art and traditions and culture. And that leads us to the big guiding question. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But philosophers and artists have been debating this for centuries. Is it the thing itself, the skill that went into it, or the feeling it gives you? Well, the truth is, there's no single answer, because art isn't just one thing. And this slide is such a perfect example of that contrast. On one hand, you've got Munch, who's literally trying to paint an internal feeling, what he called a vast, infinite scream tearing through nature. It's so personal, but also something we can all relate to. And then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have Andy Warhol, taking something mass-produced that you'd find in any grocery store and sticking it in a gallery. He's making a comment on culture, on consumerism, and he's pushing the very boundaries of what we even consider to be art. So if art can be anything from a scream of anguish to a can of soup, then maybe its real home isn't just the museum. Let's explore art in our actual lived experience. I absolutely love this quote from Da Vinci. It suggests that art isn't just some object you passively look at, it's a way of seeing the world around us. It's an act of choice, an act of perception, of noticing the intention and meaning that's hidden in plain sight. Just take a look at this list for a moment. The buildings you pass every single day were designed to make you feel something. Power, community, maybe efficiency. The sleek phone in your hand is an incredible piece of industrial design. Even the way your family celebrates a holiday is a kind of performance art, packed with symbols and traditions that communicate your shared values without saying a word. It really is everywhere. And this is exactly why it matters. Recognizing art in our daily lives isn't just some abstract academic exercise. It's about understanding the invisible forces that are guiding our emotions, our decisions, and our interactions every single day. A shared logo, for instance, can create an immediate sense of belonging. A well-designed office doesn't just look nice, it can genuinely make people happier and more productive. And it all connects right back to our ancestors' need to reduce uncertainty. A clear, intuitive space makes us feel calm because it makes the world feel predictable and safe. A poorly designed one, it can confuse us or even make us feel excluded. Art and design are constantly working on us. So, the most crucial point is this. Meaning isn't inside the object, it's created in that moment of interaction. Think of it like a three-way conversation. There's the thing itself, there's you as the viewer with all of your personal history, and there's the broader cultural world you both exist in. What something means is something we all actively create together. At the end of the day, the goal here isn't to give you some neat final definition of art. It's to hand you a new lens, a new framework for seeing the world. It's about shifting from just passively consuming your environment to actively interpreting it.
This question right here is your big takeaway. It's a practical tool you can use to see the world differently. Whether you're looking at a cave painting, a skyscraper, or the design of an app, it all comes back to this. So, as you go about your day, look around you at your home, your workplace, your city, and use this tool. Ask yourself, what is being communicated here and how am I understanding it? The answers might just surprise you.